I am really excited about these two characters. I really get excited about the villains for some reason. Thank you everybody for joining me. We are back for Disney's Heroes vs. Villain series. We are up against legendary Queen of Hearts, um, drawn in 1951. This was incredible. I was scared of her as a child. And she is up against Syndrome from 2004's Incredibles. I can't think of two more very different villains, but really fun. I think this is going to be great to compare, contract. We're going to talk about character design, iconic moments, their powers. Let's dive right into this. So let's get into character design because I'm really love the hand drawn time in Disney. And Queen of Hearts comes from 1951. She was designed by legendary Frank Thomas, and I think he did an incredible job. I mean, you see the deep reds, the black and white, the gold. I think she's incredible looking. I mean, she's kind of all over the place with her design a little bit because you have in the center of her dress, you have the gold and black kind of coming together. It's like kind of like a cape overwards. That's the black and red mostly with the white trim around it. I think she's really just stands out so much. Um, and when she's in the sea of cards, she just is so scary. I was terrified of the Queen of Hearts as a kid. I think she's very unapologetic for the space she takes up. Um, she just terrifies me. I think they did a great job of making somebody in a deck of cards, because that's how I always kind of think of her, that scene with all the cards being so terrifying, the Queen of Hearts. Um, Even when I was a kid playing poker, I wouldn't want to get the Queen of Hearts because I would think of her. So, anybody else terrified of the Queen of Hearts when they were kids? Let me know in the comments below. And let's go over to our other character, much newer, 2004. I mean, if you can count that as newer. Um, from a CGI standpoint, made. So, I think the CGI stuff they do now is phenomenal. And in 2004, this was groundbreaking still. Syndrome, I guess we'll talk about him as an adult, though I really like that Syndrome we see as a child. He's called Incredible Boy then, and then he grows up to become Syndrome. Um, Buddy really makes both the sides of him really stick out. But we're talking about Syndrome, so I love the black and white suit, the red hair that's spiky, and red seems to be a palette they both are really good at, and the red and the black and white. So I love that they have the color scheme kind of going in this matchup. But I think Syndrome, they did a great job making him kind of crazy, but not when you look at him, you think he's crazy. I don't know if it's the hair sticking up, the goofy way he moves his head. Not that that's goofy. It's just like ugh, he just he looks like he's crazy, so that's scary. He's not intimidating in the same way of as Queen of Hearts. She's just scary looking. He looks like he's scary because you don't know what he's going to do. So I think that's interesting the way they drew him. He's sort of unpredictable crazy. And I love that they are able to do that with his design. As we get into the powers and the abilities, we're going to talk about Syndrome first because he doesn't have any natural powers. I mean, his powers are in the fact that he can invent things and he can make things. And so when he goes up against Mr. Incredible, the first time it didn't work out. So he just went back to the drawing board and came up with something that was going to fight Mr. Incredible's powers. I think that's really his power. It's his brains. And the fact that he's unpredictable and crazy doesn't is bad because he's so smart that he can come up with crazy things that actually work. So that's his ability. Now, the Queen of Hearts, she doesn't fly, she doesn't shoot energy beams, uh, like Syndrome, which he invented all these things. That's phenomenal. But she has something much more powerful in some ways, her authority. She is a monarch of the Wonderland, and she scares everybody. Every creature in that world, from the White Rabbit uh, to the playing cards that are the soldiers to Catcher Hat, fears her. Her power is the fear and her authority. So her authority, the cards do what she wants without question. Uh, I think they obey her without question. That's her power. Um, and the fact that she can send anybody to the chopping block and nobody questions her because they're all scared of her. So I think different powers. Um, both of our villains are intelligent, but in very different ways. Um, the Queen of Hearts is intelligent because she is strong enough to make everybody fear her. She doesn't show the weakness that she's afraid. She is scary with her authority, and Syndrome is scary because, well, he seems to be crazy and he's smart crazy. Let's go into their iconic moments. So for the Queen of Heart, I believe her most iconic scene, well, every time she says, off with their heads. I mean, you hear off with their heads, you know it's the Queen of Hearts.
Off with his head!
Off with his head, off with his head, by order of the king. You heard what she said.
You're next.
Oh, but...
My dear.
Yes, Your Majesty.
But the trial at the end, trial of Nay of Hearts at the end of the film is chaotic. The Queen presides over the courtroom where the verdict comes in before the evidence. Witnesses are terrified into silence, and Alice eventually grows to giant size, and she tells the Queen exactly what she thinks of her. And then the Queen says, off with her head, and that launches into the final chaos sequence of the movie. And oh, wow, our Queen is something.
42, you know.
And as for you, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, indeed. Why, you're not a queen. You're just a fat, pompous, bad-tempered old tyrant.
And, what were you saying, my dear?
Well, she simply said that you're a fat, pompous, bad-tempered old tyrant.
Okay, let's get into Syndrome's most iconic moment. There is the battle at the end. And a lot of people argue that that's the most iconic moment when he says, if everybody's super, then no one is.
Huh? Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool! Just like a movie! The robot will emerge dramatically, do some damage, throw in some screaming people, and just when all hope is lost, Syndrome will save the day! I'll be a bigger hero than you ever were.
You mean you killed off real heroes so that you could pretend to be one?
Oh, I'm real. Real enough to defeat you! And I did it without your precious gifts, your oh-so-special powers. I'll give them heroics. I'll give them the most spectacular heroics anyone's ever seen! And when I'm old and I've had my fun, I'll sell my inventions so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super! And when everyone's super... no one will be.
For me, I actually thought the most iconic moment was when Mr. Incredible first gets to the island and realizes that the boy who idolized was his biggest fan, Incredible Boy, Buddy, had become the villain. And that was because of Mr. Incredible's rejection to him. He became Syndrome. So when we first kind of meet Syndrome as the adult, I feel like was the most iconic moment.
After all, I am your biggest fan.
Buddy?
My name is not Buddy! And it's not Incrediboy either! That ship has sailed. All I wanted was to help you. I only wanted to help! And what did you say to me?
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
It tore me apart. But I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anyone, especially your heroes.
I was wrong to treat...
I know people argue it's the end, where he has that line, that speech, and tells everybody how he had drawn all these superheroes to the island to just end them. But I feel like it was the moment that he reveals what Mr. Incredible had done. Um, that was the most iconic moment to me, because it really shows that you may not think it's a big deal, you're just brushing somebody off, but you don't know how that changes them and how that affects them. So I think that's the most iconic moment.
And now onto a little pros and cons list for each character. Starting with the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Her pros: unmatched presence. The Queen commands every room she enters. Her sheer volume and physicality make her impossible to ignore, and that's half the battle. Timeless legacy. Off with their heads. Has been quoted for over 70 years. Few Disney villains have a catchphrase this enduring and instantly recognizable. Pure unpredictability. You can strategize against the planner. You cannot strategize against someone who changes the rules mid-sentence because she felt like it. Loyal army. Her card soldiers obey without question, no hesitation, no mutiny, no second-guessing. Fear is a powerful management tool. Unkillable logic. She's a playing card in a dream world. Conventional defeat doesn't apply, and that makes her uniquely resilient in any matchup. Her cons: no strategy. The Queen doesn't plan. She reacts, and reacts loudly. Against a methodical opponent, raw fury without a plan is just noise. All bluff. The Griffin confirms it. She never actually executes anyone. If someone calls her bluff, her entire power structure collapses. One-dimensional threat. Beheading is her only move. Against an opponent who can neutralize her army, she has no backup plan. Easily baited. Her temper is a liability. Provoke her once and she forgets everything else. A smart villain exploits that. Positional power. Her authority only works if everyone agrees. Wonderland is real. Step outside her context and she's just a loud playing card. And now on to Syndrome from The Incredibles. His pros: self-made genius. No powers, no inheritance, no luck. Buddy Pine built everything himself, from rocket boots to a weapon that killed superheroes. That's terrifying. Ruthlessly patient. He spent years luring and eliminating superheroes one by one. Hot tempers burn out. Cold obsession endures. 0-point domination. His gauntlets stop momentum itself. Punch him, frozen. Throw something, frozen. Even Mr. Incredible was helpless in that grip. The Omni-Android. A learning, adapting, evolving killing machine that systematically wiped out the world's superpowered population, and Syndrome controlled it. Philosophical depth. Sorry if I mispronounced that. When everyone's super, no one will be. Isn't just a line, it's a worldview. He's not taking over the world, he's making the world need him. His cons: fatal ego. He monologued to his captured enemy instead of finishing him. He wore a cape, the very thing Edna warned against. His own pride literally killed him. Petty origin. His entire villain arc started because his childhood hero told him to go home. Brilliant genius, kindergarten motivation. Tech dependency. Without his gauntlets, he's just a tall man with great hair. Cut the power and Syndrome is gone. Needs validation. Everything he does is to prove himself to Mr. Incredible. Even world domination was just a performance for an audience of one. Over-engineered. He built an Omni-Droid that outsmarted him. His rocket boots got him killed. And when your own creations turn on you, the problem isn't the tech, it's the architect.
Let's go head to head with these two characters. Queen of Hearts, she's terrifying, she's scary just to look at. Syndrome, not so scary to look at. His more thing is you kind of realize he's crazy, and that's scary. Both are very villainous, very bad, and I don't see much like growth in them to change. I could be wrong. Syndrome could become a better person again. I think the Queen of Hearts is the Queen of Hearts, and she doesn't have any remorse for off with their heads. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below who you're voting for and why. I cannot wait to read all your comments. I want to know if everybody finds the Queen of Hearts as scary as I do. What do we think of the hand-drawn villain versus the new CGI kind of villain with Syndrome? Are they as scary? Who should go on to the next round? Who do you think is going to compete best in the next round? And cast your votes down below. I really enjoyed this video. I liked looking back at the Queen of Hearts. Very remiss. And Syndrome, I think, has a lot of lessons for us. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Remember to share this video with your friends. We're still very early in the series. And I can't wait to hear all your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share. And find a reason to smile today. Bye, everybody.